As a young intern at the very beginning of the AIDS pandemic at San Francisco General Hospital, our cohort of interns were bombarded with some of the sickest patients you can imagine. And at that time, we didn't even understand that this was an infectious disease, and we certainly didn't understand that it was transmissible through blood and body fluids. When it became clear that it represented an outbreak, we were scared. We really didn't know if we were at risk, and we didn't really know how we could protect ourselves, let alone how we could care for the patients with this devastating illness. And I think that was one of the silver linings, if there is such a thing in AIDS. And it really is that we became better doctors because we didn't have curative therapies. We really had to learn to listen to our patients and address their broad needs, not just their healthcare needs, in ways that extended our own understanding and human empathy, but also helped us, I think, throughout our careers, really be the kinds of physicians that listen first and treat later. I was the CDC director at a time when PEPFAR was born. And so suddenly we went from having an important but relatively small program in global AIDS prevention to being accountable for roughly half of the PEPFAR portfolio. And that meant implementing and scaling HIV prevention and treatment programs faster than anyone knew was possible, but also being accountable for how those resources were spent and learning how to work with governments and partners in very different ways than CDC had in the past. So I think the scale of the program, the speed of the program, but most importantly, the life-saving nature of the program was both inspiring, but also a little awesome from the standpoint of what was at stake. We had to succeed. From my standpoint, Merck is a long-term player in the world of HIV, and that goes back to my days at San Francisco General Hospital and carries through to this very day when we continue to innovate and drive research and development toward new therapies and new approaches to both HIV prevention as well as treatment. So the company has infectious disease as part of its DNA, and I think our HIV contributions and ongoing investment is a testimony to our long-term play in this space. We really care about infectious diseases. We certainly really care about this one because it is a global pandemic. Sometimes people forget that. And I think our company has really continued to be at the forefront.